Hey there, Phil here again. In this video, I want to take you through the ideal bank account structure. Your bank account structure will either help or hinder the way you manage your finances. And for most people, their bank account structure is a hindrance rather than a help. So what I want to show you now is a structure that I give to all of my coaching clients. In fact, I require all of my coaching clients to adopt this structure because every bank account has a specific purpose, which means that we're using our money as efficiently as possible. So here we have it, a 3 bank account structure. In the center here, we have a central working account, which is a fully functional account. Now, I don't really care too much about the fees. I don't care too much about what interest you're being paid. Having the right bank account structure will overcome all of that. It'll trump all of that any day. But here in the center, we have a central working account. The central working account, from there you can do your direct debits, periodical payments, transfers. It allows you to do pretty much everything. What we have, and I'll just quickly show you over here, what we have is all sources of income comes into this one central account. And when I say all, this is particularly important for couples. Every budget leaks, okay? Every budget leaks a little bit. But if you're managing your finances completely separately, you've got 2 lots of leaks, which always add up to be way more than just one leak with one consolidated budget. So strongly recommend that you have one central working account that receives all of your household income. All of that household income comes into this one central working account, and in this account, this is where you sit all of the money for your future expenses. So in previous tutorials and previous videos, we've been talking about JARs, your expense categories where your money accumulates for future expenses. All of that money sits in here, and from here, this is where you pay all your bills and expenses. If you've got a credit card, that can sit alongside this account. If you've got money sitting in the jar, you can spend it in the credit card and then pay the credit card off from the money sitting in this account. So this is your working account. Every dollar in here is allocated to an expense jar, ready to be spent in one of these 4 ways. The one exception to this is your everyday spending. Your everyday spending is things like your groceries, petrol, parking, entertainment, takeaway, bought lunches, bought coffees, all that sort of discretionary spending. That category of spending, so your everyday spending, typically makes up about 50% of your transactions every single month. It is also the place where you can lose a lot of money if you're not managing it well. So what I encourage all of my clients to do, and as I said before, I actually require them to do this, is to have a separate everyday account. This is just a regular everyday transaction account with an ATM card, where you, on the first of every month, you take your everyday spending from your central working account and transfer it into your everyday account. And basically what you're saying at this point is, this is my everyday spending money, this is all I've got, and I need to make it last. If I run out of this bank account, run out of money in this bank account before the end of the month, bad luck, baked beans and mashed potatoes for the rest of the month. So you're giving yourself a physical boundary, which helps significantly to reduce that money that dribbles out of your pocket in $5 and $10 lots. Having a boundary. So what we've got so far is all of your income comes into this central working account. All of your money for your future expenses sits in this central working account, except your everyday spending money, which on the first of every month gets transferred down into a separate everyday account, and that's all you've got for the month, so you need to make it last. Now, obviously, you need to come up with a realistic figure to start with, but once you've got that realistic figure, that's all you've got. Okay, now hopefully you're in a situation where your income comes in, you allocate money to your future jars, or to your jars for your future expenses. You've got money allocated to everyday jar, and hopefully at the end of that, you have some surplus, and your surplus can be taken away and put up into a separate savings account. So if I use this example, let's just say I have $4,000 coming in, and I have $3,500, which is needed to top up my jars, but $1,000 of that gets transferred down into my everyday account on the first of the month, which means that I've got $2,500 that stays in my central account. 2.5 plus 1,000 equals 3.5, which means that I have $500 to put up into my savings account each month. Every dollar has been given a purpose. Your money will accumulate in here for your future expenses. You spend it from over here. Your everyday gets allocated to an everyday account. You spend that, your everyday spending from that account. The golden rule, of course, is you're not allowed to run all this money down and then start spending from here. If you run out here, bad luck, and then any extra money gets pushed up into your savings account each month. I'm hoping that makes sense. It's a very, very powerful structure, a very simple structure, and I promise you, if you do nothing else with this whole budget course, with this whole Mastering Your Money course, if you do nothing else other than set up a separate everyday account, that in itself will save you hundreds of dollars every single month. So I can't encourage you enough, get this bank account structure set up.